Hello everybody. Got some just a little bit of time this morning to do a quick video. Didn't have time for a Minecraft video, but I thought I would go ahead and start a Subnautica series. I love this game. I started it with you before and quit because I wanted you to play it on your own and discover the scariness of the depths on your own, because I didn't want to steal that from you. But getting some feedback on that was the wrong choice. So the reason I'm bringing up Subnautica again is because Subnautica, or I guess I should say the makers of Subnautica, have just announced and released a sequel in a beta stage. So it's not finished, but it is available to play. I have played it a little bit. It is pretty cool. And the storyline is really neat. I know I loved this game. This is probably one of the best games I've ever played in my life. Definitely the top 5, maybe the second or first. It's really good. I enjoy the immersion. I enjoy the different feel of the world, being underwater and all that. I love water. So anyway, I wanted to play this with you and kind of discover some things together. There's plenty of things that I didn't do in the first playthrough of this that I would like to do in this one. So here we go.
Attention. Hull failure imminent. All personnel abandon ship. Launch in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so the first thing to do, pick up the fire extinguisher, and I think you use it by holding right click, put out the fire, just aim, like a normal fire extinguisher, point and sweep.
You have suffered minor head trauma. This is considered an optimal outcome. This PDA has now rebooted in emergency mode with one directive: to keep you alive on an alien world. Please refer to the databank for detailed survival advice. Good luck.
Okay, so it's telling us here to press tab to close and open the PDA. I can use 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on my number pad to select the items that are down here at the bottom of the screen. It's also telling us that the PDA is our guide, really. There will be a quest giver, so to speak, in our radio over here. This thing in front of us is how we make food and water and other devices that help us do better as a survivor. And this thing here, like a PDA here, this is our inventory, the first tab. The second tab here is what we can make. So if we come down here, we can make water by making bleach. So if I hover over the water here, it tells us that we need bleach in order to make water. Bleach is made by getting salt deposit and a coral tube sample. You'll see how to do all of that here in a minute. We have a standard O2 tank, take some titanium, some fins, take some silicone rubber. And then down as far as tools go, repair tool, which is what we'll need to make this. He says use repair tool. We need a scanner. This is how we discover information and new blueprints for this. Survival light is just a light for underwater. There's a knife. Flares can help prevent. It's a good light source, and it helps prevent predators from attacking, or can distract them. And then of course we have a habitat builder, which lets us build things. There's a waterproof locker which we can take underwater with us, and some other things that we'll get into later. So blueprints is we'll be coming back to this quite a lot. Beacon manager, we don't have any beacons yet, so we'll get into that later. We can take pictures, not a big deal, and then we can replay back through some of the stuff that we've heard in our voice log. Generally, unless you missed something, we won't be coming back in here ever. Databank, though, we will be spending a lot of time in because this is how you learn how to use things. This is how you learn what the story is, getting useful hints on what to do next, that kind of thing. So, survival package, start here. If you are reading this, then you have survived an emergency evacuation of a capital class ship equipped with Altera technology. Congratulations, the hard part is over. Your PDA has automatically rebooted in emergency mode. This operating system has one directive: to keep you alive in a hostile alien world. If that is not possible, it will alert salvage teams to the location of your remains. It features full monitoring of vital signs for timely survival advice, blueprints for fabricating a range of essential survival equipment tailored to your environment, onboard camera, microphone, and OCR technology for short-range situational analysis. I don't know what OCR means. Cross-compatibility with all Altera compliant products. NB, your personal and work files have been encrypted and may be retrieved at a later date by a licensed engineer. Okay, so our survival checklist now is to administer first aid if required. Down here, red is our life. Take inventory of available materials and supplies and decide on rations. Survey the environment for threats and resources. Construct necessary survival equipment using the life pod's fabricator. Check life pod for damage and repair as necessary. Broadcast local distress signal using life pod's short-range radio. This is a long list. Locate other survivors using line of sight or the radio. Find or construct a more permanent habitat. Maintain physical and physiological health until rescue. So that refers then to our food system down here and our water system down here, as well as our oxygen. So the number that's displayed under our O2, I think I explained all of this in my first couple videos, but I've taken those off, so we're just going to start over. It's seconds, so I have 45 seconds of air that I can breathe as we starting into this. This information is meant as a general guide. In the first instance, you should always follow the advice of your PDA, which has taken your particular circumstances into account. Okay, so damage to your PDA's hard drive has corrupted approximately 80% of the stored survival blueprints. Blueprints may be reacquired by scanning a salvage technology using the handheld scanner or by downloading plans from a shipboard data box. In the circumstances, these assets will be most likely be found amongst wreckage from the Aurora. Okay, so let's take a look at the Aurora. This is what we escaped from. This is what blew up. It's an Altera long-range capital ship, so it's very, very big. The mission of the ship was a Ariadne arm. I don't know what that means. There's a phase gate installation, 3-year operation time. It had 23 command teams, 85 engineering teams, 40 support crew, and 9 passengers. There's quite a lot of people on that ship that blew up. Sustained heavy damage in orbit of planet 4546b, which is where we are. Unknown cause, evacuation data unavailable. Engineering section, dark matter ion drive core V8. So this is a V8. That's getting interesting. Manned robotics suite, advanced scanner suite, long-range communications relay, 0.25 cubic kilometer storage for phase gate apparatus, accommodation for 150 people, multiple canteens serving healthy, fresh, and rehydrated food, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All environment protection suit, this is what we're currently wearing. The Altera AEP suit, all environment protection suit, a single solution for a universe of infinite danger. You are currently wearing the AEP suit, a hermetically sealed personal environment designed to withstand the most extreme conditions in the known universe. There's onboard temperature and hydration Regulation, which is down here. Compatible with a range of attachments, which are here. And slimline build for maximum freedom of movement, biometric sensors, contextual heads-up display. AEP suits should always be equipped before life pod launch in case of hull breach. Okay, so this is the life pod that we're in. It's a short range. It has a short range radio, 250 kilometers. That's a long range. I guess long range means light years. Uninterrupted range. Okay. Wall-mounted fabricator for survival equipment manufacture and for rendering organic substances edible. Medical kit fabricator, onboard air brake and flotation devices for land, sea, or space recovery. Solar power cells times 3. Emergency exits on the floor and the roof. Okay. Standard provisions, there's 2 times all environment protection suits, 2 ready-to-eat nutrient blocks, 2 drinking water provisions, emergency medical kits, and 2 flares. Some life pods may be equipped with different supplies such as radiation suits and equipment parts. Board the right life pod for the right situation. Okay, so we've gone through all of our survival packages at the moment. We can read through our these kind of as we go. Maybe we'll start the next episode with those or something. So we are getting hungry. You can tell by the hunger bar down here. If you look over here towards our thing, circuitry test failed. Obviously, this is blown out. Secondary systems offline, radio offline, distress signal broadcast failed, flotation devices deployed, hull integrity is okay. These are our power cells. We have 3 power cells, and they are running just fine. Let's open our storage container here. This is sort of like a chest, so to speak, right? So you right-click to switch containers. If you hover over this, it'll tell you how much food you get. We're sitting at 28 out of 100. This will give us 75. And then the water here will give us 20. So that'll get us up to full right there. So hit your PDA, left-click to consume the water, left-click to consume the food. Okay, let's head out. Left-click to climb up the ladder. It's nighttime. I did spend quite a lot of time reading. Normally it would be daytime.
The Aurora suffered orbital hull failure. Cause unknown. 0 human life signs detected.
That's sad. That's a lot of people just died. 150. Okay, so our first, let's check back in our PDA here. Our first survival checklist is to administer first aid if required. If not, we have taken inventory of our supplies, survey the environment for threats and resources. Just water so far. Construct necessary equipment using the life pod's fabricator, check life pod for damage, and fix repair. So let's take a look at our blueprints. We want to get the repair tool. This is going to be a silicone rubber, cave sulfur, and titanium. Well, that's going to be, we're going to find the cave sulfur. We need to find silicone rubber. So let's go see if we can do that. Dump in the water here. And remember, we only have 45 seconds of air, so we don't want to go down too far. First thing I see here is a metal salvage. This will give us 4 titanium per. Let's come back up here. We can exit and enter the bottom or the top as we see fit. Let's come back up in here and go to our fabricator. And up here in the top option here, we're going to use metal salvage will give us 4 titanium. Now this titanium we can use to make a standard O2 tank. This will let us breathe longer. We would definitely want to do that. Now we can go underwater for 75 seconds, which is great. So let's go back down underwater. It won't take that long to do this every time, just the first time. Okay, we hear stuff already, but this is telling us to left-click this outcropping here.
Copper is an essential component of all powered equipment. Your probability of survival has just increased to unlikely, but plausible.
Okay, so copper here is going to be a useful thing. We're going to find that all over the place, especially once it's daytime. We'll be able to do better. But what I want to do is I want to swim immediately whatever direction this is. we're in what's called the shallows, or the safe shallows, or something like that. Actually, I want to swim. It doesn't matter which way you go, really. But I want to swim this way. And we'll look for resources as we go along the way. So like these, we want to pick that up for sure. Now, if we look in our inventory, I'm gonna swim to the surface while I look in the inventory. This takes up a spot of 4, right? So we have a piece of titanium that's left over from the last metal salvage we have. We get 4 titanium from it. Each of those takes up a slot. So it makes sense that it takes up 4 slots. It's big. Okay, we're gonna head down. You see those? It's kind of a glitch. We shouldn't be able to see them in the dark. Let's pick all this up. We're gonna need all this. Okay, that's a bad guy. That's a shark. We don't want to mess with him just yet. Well, I got down pretty deep pretty quick. Okay, let's take a breath. Go back down underwater. We want to grab. We're looking for lights. So let's swim up to the surface. Those sharks generally don't come to the surface. And we're gonna look for these lights here. All right, so we're in a what's called a kelp forest now. And we're gonna dive down and grab one of these. Actually, so if you're wondering what the heck I'm doing, right? So I need silicone rubber for my repair tool. I've got titanium.
Life on this planet grows in unusually distinct and diverse ecological biomes. Further study recommended.
Okay, so one of the ingredients here for the repair tool is silicone rubber. To make silicone rubber, you need creepvine clusters. This right here is creepvine. So you just swim down until you get to the cluster. Look at the cluster, and then left click. Ow! Wow, that freaked me out. So yeah, I just got attacked. You won't die right away, but turning your head in the water and seeing a shark coming at you, teeth bearing, that's terrifying. Yeah, I freaked out a little bit. Okay, well I got my creepvine seed cluster. So let's go see if we can find some whatever that other thing was. Okay, this thing here is pretty cool. We can read about this. Generally, if you hear something growling like that, they're about ready to attack. So it's a good idea to look around and see if they're coming after you or not. Okay, sea glide fragment, we'll keep that in mind. We want that for sure. Okay, we need silicone, or not silicone, what's it called? I've already forgotten. Repair tool, here we go. Cave sulfur. So we need to find a cave, and hopefully we can find the things that give us, here's a cave. Yep, that right there. Okay, you want to get out of the way. So, with these, let's get some oxygen. We'll go back down. So generally in the caves, you'll find these pods. You want to be careful. As soon as you hear that noise that just...
increased local radiation levels. Trend is consistent with damage to the Aurora's drive core, sustained during planet fall.
Okay, there's these plants that produce little fish that like to swim at you and explode. And it will... I don't know if they're fish, but they're something that swims at you and explodes. And that sucks. That's scary. And they do a lot of damage, so you want to avoid them. If you hear them, run really fast. Okay, so let's make some more titanium. We can make a couple of these. Okay, then I want to make some silicone rubber. This gives us 2 silicone rubber from that one piece of creepvine cluster. Keep that in mind. Okay, so the tool that we want to make now is a repair tool. This comes created with a battery in it. And let's go ahead and make a survival knife while we're at it.
Weapons were removed from standard survival blueprints following the massacre on Abraxas Prime. The knife remains the only exception.
Okay, so I used 2 on my keyboard to bring up my repair tool, and you're going to hold right click to use the repair tool.
LifePod secondary systems online. Running full environment diagnostic and outputting results to databank.
Okay, so now's a good time to come back in here and take a look. We got a thing marked off of our checklist here. So we've fixed everything. So now let's take a look at our geological scan from our life pod here from our planet that we're on, 4546b. It's a category 3 ocean planet, oxygen, nitrogen, atmosphere, very similar to ours. Extensive biodiversity, may support Leviathan-class predators. Safety warnings. Water containment with high levels of foreign bacteria, contaminated with high levels of foreign bacteria. Planet is beyond Federation space, rescue unlikely. Okay, it is not recommended to explore this environment without hazardous material suits and extensive support apparatus. I agree. Okay, so we need to make some water. We'll definitely show you ways to make that. The next thing I want to make here is a scanner. So we need to make a battery. In order to make a battery, we scroll up here to our electronics. Battery is 2 acid mushrooms and 1 copper. We've got the copper. That was one of the first things we grabbed. Acid mushrooms are these things here. Grab the pink ones, not the blue ones. These are seeds. You don't want to pick that up. You want to pick the fully grown ones up. So we'll grab 2 of those, swim back up, and make ourselves a scanner. Scanner is going to be really useful. This is going to be how we discover new technologies. So let's make a battery. And then come out of the tools, and let's make a
New
scanner.
blueprint acquired. The scanner can be used to synthesize blueprints from salvage technology and to record alien biological data.
By record alien biological data, that means we can scan fish, right? So I come up to this guy, and that little symbol in the right corner shows up. See that? Bottom right-hand corner? That means you haven't scanned it. Also, that thing pops up right in your crosshair, and these won't hold still while I scan them. So what you can do now is you can come in here to the database, and you can look at indigenous life forms. We have a new category here: fauna, being living creatures. Herbivores, he's an herbivore, and he's called a Gary fish. Slow-moving and curious herbivore, camouflage indicates adaptation for evasive behavior on the ocean floor. So you can read through this. This is assessment edible. So we can grab this guy. If I find him again, where is he at? Let's get some air. So these guys have really cool technology for their oxygen tanks, because their oxygen tanks refill when, here we go, this guy here. So let's grab him. They're gonna run away from me. Just wanna swim up to him and grab him. Just left click. Okay, then what you can do is you can come up into this life pod. You can left click on here and you can turn him into food. Cook him. It cooks him.
It is common for those accustomed to synthetic foods to be repulsed by eating an animal carcass. Remember that humans survived this way for millennia. You can too.
Okay, so we look at our Gary fish in here. A cooked Gary fish will give me 13 food and 5 water, which is pretty cool. It's got a floral flavor, but very little of it. So let's eat that. Give us some water. Now the next thing I want to scan is these guys here, these peepers. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and grab him. He's going to swim away from me because he's fast. But I'm going to try and catch him.
New
There we go.
creature discovered.
Okay, so let's read about the peeper. Okay, the peeper is still under the herbivores, a fast prey fish encountered in shallow waters and rich in protein. So I'll let you read this. Assessment edible, high calorie count for the research required. Whatever that means. So let's go cook him. And see what he gives us. If you don't eat the cooked food right away, it will spoil and actually cause harm.
The fabricator cooks small organisms while disposing of the skeletal structure, bodily fluids, and internal organs, thus rendering them safe for human consumption.
That's pretty cool. I wish we had something like that in real life. That'd be really neat. Okay, so let's eat him. He gives us 32 food and 5 rich protein eyeballs, highly nutritious. Let's consume that. Okay, and the next thing I want to scan is going to be, we'll scan him. He's probably not edible, if I remember right. He doesn't want to be scanned. Let's scan this guy. Okay, Rayfish, you're being really... Okay, let's scan this guy.
New creature discovered.
Okay. I want to scan you, Rayfish. Come here.
Alien life forms may have unexpected applications. Utilizing alien resources is a proven survival strategy.
Okay, now we've got 2 new fish that we've learned about. Let's take a look at them in our PDA. Okay, so bladefish, a bladderfish. This unusual herbivore appears to be mostly defenseless and bears little resemblance to the other life forms around it. Semi-permeable bladder, the bladderfish is able to fill with air, seawater, its body, blah, blah, blah. Okay, assessment edible. Oxygen may be retrieved from the bladder and added to tanks on consumption. Membrane applications as a natural water filter. Okay, that's the important part. So, until we can find salt and figure out how to get coral tube, whatever's, this is how we're going to get water. So now we have access to water. Bladderfish will give us 6 ounces of filtered, using organic membrane, non-vegetarian water. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to come over here and look at this. This gives us 2 water, right? Did that give us 2 water? I think it just gave us 1. So this gives us 20 water, just like the other ones did. So let's drink both of those because we need them. Make sure we don't need... Okay. Alright, so now we've kind of scanned all of the things in the area. Let's giant coral tubes. Let's scan that. Remember the... What was it? The bleach here needs coral tube samples. So to get that, we're going to use our knife, and I'm going to move that to 4 because that's where I'm kind of used to it being. And we're going to right-click, and that's going to give us giant coral tube samples. Okay. Now we can use that combined with salt deposit to get water, good water. Okay, so let's take our bearings here and let's swim this direction, just to the left of the Altera ship. Let's see if we can find some water. Oh, we didn't read about the other fish. He's not edible. We will read about him in a minute. Okay, so salt isn't that big of a deal. We can grab some of these bladderfish while we're out here. There's quite a few of them here. Oh no, he's gonna get me. Another one! Ouch! Okay, well now we can... Let's grab these. Goodness. I know there's 2 of them. So let's grab both of these. And let's scan this. Okay. That was profitable. Let's scan the acid mushrooms. And scan some of these other things that are down here. You can scan almost anything in here. Coral shell plate. It's interesting. Table coral. Good for stuff. Okay, we're getting low on water, on oxygen.
Oxygen.
Gotta keep an eye on that. We can drown. Okay, where'd all the bladderfish go? Well, anyway, I want to go... Where's the Altera ship at? There it is. I want to go this direction. Grab some more bladderfish as we go if we see them. We're good on water, we're good on food. We have another nutrient bar, so that'll give us another 75, so we don't really need to catch food at the moment. We'll scan other stuff as we get there. Withering weed, writhing weed, rather. Okay, so now down here should be some... I should see some salt pretty soon. Maybe. Okay, these things are cool. These are like little manatees with a defensive mechanism. You don't want any of those things to hit you. Like that. Man, it takes forever to scan. Yeah, you don't want to hit those balls. You don't want them to explode around you. They hurt. Okay. So now we're getting into some deeper water for sure. I want to be careful. But I want to see if we can find some salt. Salt would be great for water. Because it gives you better water than the bladderfish. And it'd be nice to have some. There we go. There's some right there. Once you play the game a lot, you're going to be able to notice some of these things sitting out here. There we go. Grab some water, get away from the sharks. There's another one. Grab this real quick. Okay. Whew! Look at that thing. It's dark down here, man. I love this about this game. Okay, let's get back. Let's get back to our life pod. We've swam quite a long ways. We swam pretty deep there too. We're pretty slow. Next thing I would like to get is these things here. So these fins. That's just going to take 2 silicone rubber. We know how to get that. So let's go back down here and grab. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Oh. It's telling us to collect this or use our knife on it. So it's saying cut the creep vine with a knife. Okay, that's good. Just got a creep vine sample, and I want to come over here and grab this and then get out of here. It's getting dark. Getting creepy. Man, if this was real life, there's no way I would be doing this. I would die. I would totally die. I don't want to be eaten. It's like my biggest fear is being eaten alive. It happens in nature all the time. It's terrifying. I am not food. Okay, we're really slow right now, and we shouldn't probably be swimming too far away from our life pod. Or swimming too deep without these fins that I'm about to get. So you'll notice, I don't know if you noticed, we got another blueprint for a higher quality oxygen tank now that we have one. Now that we have an oxygen tank on us here, it automatically equipped itself. We have a high capacity one. So that's going to take the tank that we currently have, plus a couple other things, to increase its capacity even more. It gives it a second tank, I think. Anyway, so let's get back in our life pod. We'll read some of our PDA and then we'll call it an episode. We have life pod 5. Okay, let's turn our bladderfish into some water. And we'll drink that. There we go. Oops, sorry. Alright, now let's make the fins. So let's make the silicone rubber. That gives us 2. And then we can come down into personal equipment here, make fins. Those will automatically get equipped to us.
The fabricator draws from available data to provide environment-appropriate equipment using locally available materials. For your safety, this setting cannot be overridden.
Yeah, why would you want to override that? I don't know. So now we have fins. This will let us swim approximately 15% faster. Now we did grab a couple new blueprints. Fiber mesh, that comes from our creep vine sample. We can use that to make something else. First aid. First aid. We can make first aid. Well, we have a first aid thing right here. So we got damaged by those fish. So we grabbed that out of there, use our first aid kit, and it gives us back 100% health. Okay, this will constantly fabricate medical kits over time. I don't know how long it actually takes, but if I were to open this again, oh, there we go. It's 3% done, so pretty slow. So try not to take damage where you would need to do that multiple times. Alright, now the next thing I want to make, I think that's it for now. Let's make some bleach. So basic materials, we have coral deposit and salt deposit. I grabbed 2 of each. So we're going to make 2 pieces of bleach.
Bleach is an essential chemical used for cleaning wounds and purifying water.
Okay, so we're sitting at 72 water. Let's make one of these. Now this disinfected water takes 1 bleach, but it makes 2 waters, 12 ounces of it, instead of 8 ounces, okay?
Preparing the day's water ration ahead of time will help ensure against dehydration and eventual death.
Well, each of these gives 30, okay? So if I were to consume this, it'd put me over 100. That's fine. Generally, you want to wait until you're down to 70 or below before you drink this. The nutrient bars here, you want to wait until you're down to about 25. That's when this system tells you seek nutritional intake. So these are very good. If you find these are great. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these. Large herbivores, we've found the rabbit ray. They're herbivores. An herbivorous aquatic life form, rabbit rays appear to live serene and solitary lives with few predators, a natural sense of curiosity, and awesomely poisonous flesh. Okay, inedible but harmless. So we don't want to catch these guys. We don't want to eat them. That's why they don't have any predators. They're poisonous. Gasopod, a slow-moving life form and one of the larger herbivores on the planet, providing a substantial meal to would-be predators. The gasopod protects its domain by filling the surrounding water with poisonous and corrosive pods, whose contents dissolve even synthetic fibers. So yeah, that's why it damaged us. Okay, approach with caution. Acidic pods may be retrieved and repurposed. So as they poop them out or get rid of them or whatever, you can pick them up, which is kind of neat. That's what it sounds like. I haven't done that yet. I should try that. Interesting. Okay, so the flora here, we've got acid mushroom. We know what these are used for. Assessment, inedible acid has applications in battery fabrication. Okay. Sulfur has applications in construction of the repair tool. We knew that. And then in the sea, we've got blue palm, common aquatic plant, thrives in shallow waters. So yeah, these intercept light before it can reach the smaller flora on the seabed. Okay. And then the writhing weed we don't have a picture for because it's not that important. But it's interesting to read about. It's kind of cool that they put all the effort into putting information in about all these things. Table coral, exploitable in computer chip fabrication. That's pretty cool. Remember we found the table coral. And then the coral shell plate, no practical applications discovered. Okay, so that's it. Anyway, so that'll be the first episode of Subnautica here. Hope you enjoyed it. This is really easy to record. Hope you don't mind. Oh, hey, let's repair this. Oh.
Radio online. Broadcasting emergency distress signal.
Okay, so we just broadcasted our emergency distress signal. I guess I won't close out the episode just yet. So if I go to our survival package and our checklist, broadcast local distress signal using LifePod short range radio, did that. Now let's play the message on here. When it's blinking red like this, there's a message to play.
This is Aurora. Distress signal received. Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9 hours. Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.
So, it's funny, our distress signal was received by the Aurora, this ship here. So it said it will rescue us in Never, and then it gave us instructions to listen for other survivors' distress signals. Hopefully everybody else who escaped, their radios work. and can send distress signals, unlike mine. I had to do quite a lot of repair to my life pod, so... Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully I can start... So this is my last week, just so you know, this is my last week with my crazy hours. So next week is going to be a normal week. I should be able to start doing videos per day. Still trying to adjust to the schedule that I have. I'm working evenings 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Work out in the morning, have lunch with my wife, and then have time for recording at some point in there. I think I can do it. I think I want to do it. I'm excited about it. So we're going to probably alternate between Minecraft and Subnautica. I want to get through Subnautica, actually do all of the, experience all of the things, do all of the things in the game. Hopefully by the time we're done with that, Below Zero, which is the Subnautica sequel, will be available to play. Actually in a fully featured release. So hopefully that's the case. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.